record on this computer. You can ask the question.
Got it.
Great. So now things happen. It's happy recording. Okay, great. All right. Then, good. So now, let's see. Good. All right. Good. All right, so I'm just gonna sort of speed through some of my opening things. If you want to try the light on me? Sure. I will get very far. Do you imagine going any farther than you are now, Paul?
I don't know where you go in this shit.
Well, I go all up here, but you don't have to go out.
I mean, I can. I was like, I mean, it'd be great if there was no one here. I don't.
Okay, great. All right, then I will open you up. This is so good. So I one, six, no. Come in. Sit. Fall. Back. Great. Stuff comes off. All right, so we won't want lights with this. Yeah, we won't want the yeah. Got it. Oh,
So we're getting ring light shadow.
okay. Great. Well, welcome everyone. Hello, thank you so much for being here. We're going to start in just a couple minutes. I just want to welcome you all and ask you to please this evening leave your mobile phones on, because I'm going to ask you at one point to use your flashlights, right? So please turn them on. If we get a call, well, we'll just figure it out. But well, I'm going to need you to use your phones. Also, with all these pieces, I ask the audience sitting here to participate, to make sounds that gets everybody involved. So I thought we could rehearse a couple just before to get us kind of like in the mood, right? So yeah. So can you make some explosions? Yeah, good. Yeah. Wow. Great, perfect, lovely. Good group, yay. And some German voices, doesn't have to be real German. Yes. Yeah. Do you have a German voice?
This is not good.
Perfect, lovely. Okay, so at the beginning of COVID-19, I started creating these pieces live just so that I could like perform on Zoom and Facebook Live. And I've done over 70 of them. So I do one every week. It's a brand new show. So when the previous one is done, I start researching and developing the next one. And then I start rehearsing it and I start making the props. And then on Saturday, I perform the piece live. So I call this the Essential Services Project, ESP. And because I think that entertainment is essential also. And a few months ago, I started adding live audiences. So there's people out there, hey, hi out there. So that's what I was doing for most of COVID, because we didn't have people. But then when we could start having people again, I started inviting a couple people to sort of bring the live element back into it. So thank you so much for being here. You're making it real. People out there, yay! I want to hear some explosions from you also. So could you make some sounds? Yeah, that was good. Good. No, I hear that. That's good. Good. And some German voices. Good. Yeah, good. Good group. Good. Okay, so we'll begin in just a minute. Thank you.
You would play drive and song drive. The piece of tree. Oh, yeah? I don't know.
Hello. I'm 96 years old. You know, the big danger when you're 96 is falling down. That's what happened to Stephen Sondheim. He fell down. He was young. He was 91. Once you fall, well, everything's damaged. So the trick is not to fall. My name's Twink. I'm Twink. That's the nickname. I'm not a twink. I'm just Twink. Think twinkle in the eye, twinkle, twinkle little star. That's my last name, Star. That's why they call me Twink, probably. I don't know how I got that name. But this is a true story, mostly. Mostly I'm based on fact. I thought maybe we could break the ice a little bit and sing a little song. I thought we could start with one of your songs. Alicia Keys, her New York song. Yeah, the gays love Alicia. Yeah, I'm one of the gays. Yeah. So why don't we all sing together? I'm sure you know it. It starts New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made. You know this one, yeah? All right, so I'll count us into it. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do. I'm not going to do Jason part. I don't do Jason. I mean, I love rap. I mean, the gays love the rap, right? But I don't. Yeah, I don't do that part of it. Okay, so I'm from Columbus, Ohio. So why don't we not do a Columbus, Ohio song? Okay, you all know it. All right, I'll count us in a little bit. Yeah. All right, here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. I didn't think so. Yeah. Well, thanks for trying. You know, years ago, I was in the Second World War. I was in the Battle of the Bulge. I got a Bronze Star for that. Not sure I earned it, but I got one. I'm wearing it now. Because it makes people feel comfortable. I'm a real estate agent. I sell property to people so they can start their families. Yeah, they like seeing the Bronze Star. As a matter of fact, this year I was named the top realtor in Columbus, Ohio. I got this little red pin under that also. I like to help people. Something that a lot of people don't understand. I'm a Republican. I'm a log cabin Republican. And that's the Republicans that, the gays. The gays are Republican. And people don't understand about Republicans. they, what they don't understand is that Republicans think that you should help each other. You should, but you shouldn't have to. That's the difference between Republicans and Democrats. Republicans think you should help people, and Democrats think that you have to. So they tax you, and then they take your money and help people with it, which is sort of assuming that we wouldn't help people if we weren't taxed. Well, I've never gotten to that much. So in the middle of COVID-19, I was walking through Columbus, Ohio, and there was a street person on the street and asking for, we're not supposed to use that word, right? Because that means you're turning somebody into their condition. It's the people living with homelessness. Yeah. So there was a person living with homelessness on the sidewalk, and he asked me for $1. Would you ask me for $1?
Yes. You wanted to have $1?
And I tell people, I'm a log cabin Republican. So I reached into my wallet, and all the props in this production are made of paper. That's a concept, you know, it's the director's concept. So I reached into my wallet and I opened it up and I took out $2. And I started to hand it to this gentleman, and he grabbed my wallet, grabbed it, and he shoved me. Give me a shove. All right. And then he took the $2. And he ran. There it was. I had my fall. And I thought, now it's all going to start. I've taken my fall. Now it's going to end. It's all going to end. And I was thinking it was all over. And then all of a sudden I started thinking about my red shoes. And I don't know why. I hadn't thought about them in decades. I had a pair of red shoes when I was 11 years old. And that's all I could think about that moment. Give me back my money. Thank you. I was looking at my red shoes. They're just floating there in my brain. I thought, wow. You see, my red shoes, for me, were my liberation. When I was 11, I was a little Methodist boy. Methodists aren't supposed to have any fun. They're supposed to be miserable. So my whole week I was miserable, not having any fun. Then the week would end, and I would go to church on Sunday. I couldn't eat breakfast before church, right? In church you had communion, the wafer, red wine. You weren't supposed to eat breakfast. But after church, I had a big breakfast, and then I go home and I put on my red shoes because I decided that was going to be my real tribute to God. I was going to celebrate his bounty. I was going to get myself outside in the half day I had left to me. I was going to celebrate the fields and the streams and the farms and my favorite, the forests. So I tied on my red shoes. Nobody stopped me. My mother didn't stop me. My pop didn't stop me. And I get up. Give me a hand. And I was 11 years old again. And I was outside in the sunshine. I took off my tie. I took off my best dress shirt because now I had the whole day to myself. Now I could go out and explore. Now I could go find Ohio in the springtime. Woo! I loved it. I was tearing around the fields and the farms. I was racing down the lanes, leaping over the streams. It was so exciting. I was full of like Sunday brunch. You know, I was with my father. I said, how come we can't have breakfast before we go to church? He said, well, because communion, you're swallowing the blood and body of Christ, and you're not supposed to have, you know, the body and blood of Christ sloshing around down there with the orange juice, right? And now I had orange juice and scrambled eggs and sausages and bacon and grilled cakes. And they were wonderful. Then I saw the thing I love most. The thing I love most about the outdoors. When I was 11 years old, I discovered in the distance, I could see it. Before us. There it was! Magical. I've been afraid of the forest when I was a little kid, but now it drew me. And not just because of itself, but because of the things I saw coming out of it. One day I saw a couple, a man and woman come out of it holding hands, adjusting their clothing. What was going on in those woods? Another day I saw another couple, younger, coming out of the woods, adjusting their clothing, holding hands. And then one day, two men came out of the woods. They were adjusting their clothing, but they weren't holding their hands, but they were standing real close. And I thought, I gotta go into those woods. I gotta find out what the magic is in there. Because people seem transformed when they come out. And I got into the woods. And there I discovered trees. A whole variety of trees, spectacular. One tree in particular. And I don't know why. I just sort of found myself rubbing up against it. Oh, that tree was so hard. Oh, I love that tree. Oh, enough of that. But I thought, I want to bring somebody to my woods. Like those people I saw. There was this guy named Robert at school. One day, I just let him into the woods. He seemed willing. And when we were done, we walked out of the woods. We were straightening our clothes. I said, Robert, my nickname's Twink. You have a nickname? Do you want to go get a hamburger or Coke and some French fries? No, I gotta go. I want to get home. Whoa. Don't go home. I mean, let's hang out. Let's hang out all day. No, I gotta go home. My mom's expecting. Oh, come on, Robert. Can I call you Bobby? Can I call you Robbie? No. Would you tell anybody about this? You tell anybody what we did? I'll punch you out. I wouldn't tell anybody about what we did here. That was private. I went to marry Robert. I would spend my whole life with Robert, and he seems so ashamed. I thought, is this what it means to be a Methodist? To hate everything about yourself, to never allow yourself to have pleasure. I feel guilty and bad about what we've done. But I couldn't figure it out all through high school. I never got the nerve to ask anybody to come to the woods with me, not because I didn't want them to, but I was afraid of what would happen afterwards. That they'd walk away, that they'd leave me. Then I got to college. College was great, because in college, I could study whatever I wanted. I studied business and economics, and I learned the most important thing about business: never overlook the obvious. And that's a really, really important thing, because we always overlook the obvious because we think too much. In fact, just like let it go, stop thinking, and then the obvious is there. And there was something really obvious at my college, the Ohio University, and I could never figure it out. It was the men's room. Something was going on in that men's room, because every time I approached it, I heard all this groaning. But then when I went inside, it got all quiet. And then when I let the groaning start again. So let's do it here. Can you help me? Yeah, okay. So go out there and groan, and then make groaning sounds. And then when I come out there, be quiet. And then when I leave, start groaning again. Okay? So this is my experience. Yeah, go ahead and start groaning. This is my experience in Oh, that's great! Yay! That's good. Okay, so I figured out. Okay, I'm not doing something right, because every time I went in there, there'd be all this groaning, and then all of a sudden, it would stop, and I just be normal and leave, and then groaning would start again. So I thought, okay, I have to start groaning too. When I walk in, I'll start groaning, and that'll be a signal to them that I'm a groaner. Okay, and then we'll see what happens. Okay, so You start going. Because you're for a privilege. But that's exactly what happened. I mean, when it was over, whoever I had encountered with would just leave. And they were obviously embarrassed, mortified. Yeah. I thought, wow. Every time I met somebody in the bathroom, I wanted to marry them. I wanted to spend the rest of my life with them. I wanted to have hamburgers and French fries and Cokes with them. But then they just left. I didn't want to just have sex. I wanted to meet somebody, settle down, be like my parents. But everybody always left. Anyway, there wasn't time to think about that too much because it was 1940 and the war was on in Europe and it was going to come to the United States. So I enlisted in ROTC, Reserve Officers Training Program, right? And I got a uniform, I got a hat. I was all excited because I'd been assigned a pair of combat boots. Yeah! And then our drill sergeant showed up. Combat boots are for people in combat. You're not in combat yet. Take those socks off. Oh, well, can I put my other shoes here? Take those socks off! Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're gonna toughen you up. Get you ready for North Africa, France, Germany. We're gonna take an 8-mile run, barefoot. So I go through the first weeks of basic training barefoot. This is insane. Gee. And then we had our first camp out. We didn't have shoes. I thought I'm gonna get cold. I'm gonna get cold. The ground is freezing. I know I'm gonna get cold. Then I remember something from my physiology class. If you keep your head and your feet covered, you won't lose that much heat. Those are the most important spots. I had my hat, and I figured if I just keep my feet off the ground all night, if I just sleep like this, I'll be fine. I did it. It's like all that like that. And it's fine. I ran back to base. Hey, Sarge. That was a great overnight. Yeah, I got something for you. This is a special present just for you. Hold your hand out. Okay. Now we're gripping. Just you and me. What's that, Sarge? That's a live grenade. What? Yeah. I teach you a lesson about arrogance, son. Yeah. Pull the pin out. Now the only thing holding that grenade together, the only thing keeping it from exploding is that spoon that you hold in your hand. Let me take my hands off it. You better hang on to that spoon again. Sarge, do you think it's a good idea? Now I know. That is a damn stupid one. Sarge. What are we supposed to do now? We're supposed to run like everybody else. That was the day I went through basic, holding a live grenade. I went back to the sergeant and I said, Sergeant, can I get rid of this thing? Yeah, go ahead. Go in that old latrine over there. And at least you'll be blowing up some shit. Well, anyway. Went through training all through college, 4 years of it. In 1944, it looked like I made it to the end. Guess what? The war was almost over. And I said to my buddy, I said, hey, we made it through the war. We didn't have to go overseas. Look at us. We did the right thing. We're patriots. We trained the officers in the United States Army, and now the war is ending. The Germans are surrendering. The Japanese are being defeated. And we're not even gonna have to go. We got our combat boots, and we didn't have to go overseas and become heroes. We did it! Yes, sir. Yes, sir. An officer? Oh, thank you, sir. Yes, of course. Second lieutenant? Yes, sir. Just what I always wanted. Yes. Belgium? You're sending me to Belgium? Why? I mean, I thought the war was over. Yes, sir. Of course, sir. Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So the very end of the war, autumn of 1944, we were shipped out to Belgium. It's the 106th Infantry Division in the Ardennes Forest, the very front of the line. The Germans, right there. That's why I met my Canadian officer, the captain. Yeah. Germans are finished. They've got no more tanks. All their tanks are loaded up. We're just waiting around till the spring, and when the spring thaws, and we're just gonna roll right into Germany. Excuse me, sir, but you wouldn't see any tanks because the Germans are on the defense, and a tank is defensive weapon. What the hell are you talking about? Well, there wouldn't be tanks at the front. They'd be behind the German lines. They'd be using them to build up, get ready for a major offensive. You don't know what you're talking about. So no, that makes sense. Don't overlook the obvious, sir. If they're not at the front, that doesn't mean they've all been destroyed. It means that they're somewhere hidden away, ready for an offensive. All their tanks were blown up by our aircraft. We hadn't seen a tank on a road or a railroad behind German lines in months. Yes, because they're probably hidden away somewhere, like in a forest. Amazing things happen in the forest, sir. Hidden things, secret things. Shut your damn mouth, sir. I recommend that we recommend to the colonel that he fly some reconnaissance flights over nearby. Shut your damn mouth. You're not talking to any colonel. Germans are finished. That's enough of that. So I went over to scan. I went to see the colonel. Can somebody be the colonel? Yes, great, with the colonel. Come sit down. Here. There's a cigar. Yeah, okay, good. So I'm gonna come and see you, and I'm gonna ask you for permission to order a reconnaissance flight over the woods outside of Q, Germany, okay? And all you should say to me is calm down. Just calm down, right? Okay. Hello, Colonel. Sorry. Sir, I recommend that we order a flight, a reconnaissance flight over the woods outside of cold Germany. Yes, sir. I swear to God, the Germans have tanks somewhere. They must be somewhere, and you can't see them in the woods. But maybe we can see something else that will indicate. Yes, sir. And then say yes. So, can we order a flight?
Yes.
Thank you, Colonel. Yeah, let's hear from the Colonel. So, we ordered a flight. With the United States Army aircraft. In order to flight. A flight over the woods outside of Q, this giant forest, just outside the city of Q. Now, the Air Force had special reconnaissance craft with special cameras for just this kind of thing. I told them they would need their best camera on their best plane with their best pilot. They gave it to me because they wanted to find it too, as it's turned out. We watched the day the plane left the airfield, flying out over the German front line towards Q, taking pictures of the forest, giving some clicking sounds for the cameras. Yes, it's good. That's good. But there were no results. They didn't find anything. So I told them they needed a telephoto lens mounted on the bottom of the plane to give them maximum visibility. So they flew back out over the woods outside of Q and gave some clicking sounds. Still, they didn't say anything. I told them they had to intensify the lens, the best lens they could find in the United States Army, to find the tanks in the woods. There must be some sign of those tanks. These were Creighton says. Sure enough, that day, they saw something. They told me before they even landed. They saw something above the woods. From the woods, where they never looked before, because they'd always been looking for tanks on railroads and on the Autobahn. They saw a huge brown cloud. Bring the camera in here so the audience can see what they saw. Right down there. Yes, a big brown cloud. What was a big brown cloud doing over the woods outside of Kuhn? So I took everything back to the colonel. Each of them. And I told him everything that had been done. So we sent the planes over the woods. We had a very special plane with a very special routes. And we discovered it's a huge brown cloud. That's diesel fuel. That's diesel fuel. Only Tiger tanks put up diesel clouds. Those are engines revving in the woods, sir. Sir, we have to launch a major airstrike on those woods. We'll destroy the Germans in the forest. Say no. No. Thank you. No assault was ordered. I went back to my unit. At 5 a.m. in the morning, December 16th, 1944. The Germans launched a massive assault in the Ardennes forest with 1,000 tanks. Give me some explosions. Come on, get going. All right, the men, we are cut off. We're cut off from headquarters 106. Now somebody needs to volunteer. Somebody needs to volunteer to go through enemy lines and get back to our headquarters to have them counterattack and get us out of here. Who's going to do it? My mother said never volunteer for anything. It'll only get you trouble. Don't volunteer. I need somebody to volunteer to go through those lines. I gotta stay here to man these troops. Who's going to do it? Don't. Come on, somebody's got to cut through those lines. We're all dead clowns. Come on now. I volunteer. Wait. Yes. I'll go through the German lines. Yes. All right. You get there, you tell them to come. Yes, get us out of here. We are down to the last. But go, boy, go! So I crawled through German lines. As the Germans were searching for me, turn their flashlights, see if they can find me, in the woods. Don't find me, just see if you can find me. Yeah. Give me some explosions. Then I saw something. Moving through the woods. And I knew then that I would never again see my men, the captain, the colonel, anybody. I saw a King Tiger tank moving through the woods. It was the biggest thing I'd ever seen. It was a monster. It sounded like a monster, it growled like a monster, growl for me. Give me some growls. And then get another Tiger tank. Give me some more growls. Some more growls. I realized at that moment I'd never get back. I found some men. They were hiding in the trees, and they decided that they were going to surrender, and they got permission from the commanding officer over the radio. And I said, no, I'm not going to surrender. I'm not going to surrender. No, I'm not going to become a prisoner of the Germans. So I started running. I was running. I was running. And the Germans were chasing me and shouting at me. The Germans shouted at me. You would kill me. So I surrendered. Should walk right into it. Time hands me with every pack. And then he started marching. He marches for 48 hours in the snow. It was so cold. I couldn't keep myself because I didn't have my arms. I hadn't eaten in 2 days, just half a sea ration. I was starving. We formed a tight line, walking in step with each other, trying to share body heat. They marched us back and back, back in the snow. It was so cold. And then we reached a railhead and a long line of boxcars. American officers, we will board this boxcar. It will take you back to Germany. One 100 of you will get into each boxcar. It is so you can keep each other warm. Get on. Get my hands loose. We were packed in this boxcar and started heading back to Germany. All I could hear was the sound of the wheels on the rails. Give me some sound to the train. Yes, and a whistle. Give me a whistle. Yes, yes. It was so cold. We were meeting each other like hardly anything. And I couldn't lay down the street. I was so tired. Every few hours, they'd squeeze together tires for one of us to get some rest. We were in that train for 3 days. And finally, we arrived in Germany. Jumped down. There's a German officer standing there in front of us. Welcome to Stalag 7B. For prisoners of the Reich. Please take off your helmets. Excuse me, sir. I keep your helmet on. I can keep my head warm. Take off your helmet now. Yes, sir. And I was shocked. You, Lieutenant, come with me. Sit down, Lieutenant. What unit are you with, Lieutenant? I'm not supposed to answer that question, sir. I can only tell you my name, rank, and serial number. What unit are you with? Twink, Star, Second Lieutenant, 456-8928-45. What units are you with, Lieutenant? Twink, Star, but take off your shoes, Lieutenant. Sergeant want to take them off, or the sergeant will come in and yank them off the feet. Your socks. Put your feet on the floor, Lieutenant. Now, you can have your shoes and your socks back when you answer my questions. What unit are you in? What is your unit strength? Twin star, 456 892 845. Second lieutenant. Star. Is that a Jewish name? Twig star 456 892 845. We captured some other officers in your unit. A man by the name of Schopenhauer and another man by the name of Meyer. Are those Jewish officers? Twin star, second lieutenant 456. You will not get your shoes back, lieutenant, until you answer my question. Get up, don't put your shoes on. You will go out into the courtyard. You will move lumber from that side of the courtyard to that side. You will bare feet. And when you decide to talk, we will give you your shoes. I realize if I kept moving the lumber, should be one time. Inside, lay down, sleep. Can it roll or cannot? I'm not going to tell you anything. I know you're playing some sort of game. It doesn't matter. I can't tell you anything. You're not really even interested in the information. You're trying to confuse me. Somehow the other Americans are going to know. They're going to know that I think on them, and then they're going to turn on me. I don't know. Maybe they're listening. Maybe they count the days that I've been here with you. If I'm here one day, I'm going to think. If I'm here 8 days, I'm not. I don't know. I don't care. I don't care what they think. I don't care what you think. I'm not going to tell you anything ever. American bombers. Those American planes. I'm not going to tell you anything. I'm not going to tell you anything. I'm not going to tell you anything so I can put the shoes on. Right? Yeah, come on in. Well, this barracks ain't paradise, but we'll be okay. We're pairing people up with each other for warmth. Everybody's paired up already, so you'll have to sleep with me in the hotel, all right? What about him? Nobody's paired up with him. Yeah, I don't want to pair up with him, he's a pervert. What? He's a pervert. They caught him with another prisoner. Germans dragged that guy up somewhere, we don't know what they did with him. That guy sleeps alone. I'll sleep with him, Kevin. Yeah? So you were only in there one day. One day. Did you think us out? Did you tell them every goddamn secret you know about the US Army? Hi. My name's Twink. What's yours? You don't want to bump with me? I'm a pervert. I'm not where I want to be. I'm more like you than you realize. What's your name? Samuel? You don't want to bump with me. I'm sick. I've got lice. I got crabs. I got bed bugs. I got fleas. I'm incontinent. I stink. I throw up any food they give me. Oh, stop talking. You're kind of making me disgusting, okay? Just sleep. We'll keep each other warm. We'll hibernate together, okay, Samuel? That's a wall sitting on a wall, walla sue. That's a wall sitting on a wall. Samuel, get up. Where are you going with him? You're gonna take him outside and bury him. You can't bury him, the ground is frozen. Put him back in his bunk. He needs to have a proper funeral. Put him in his bunk. Now, who was his blanket? The children will take care of him. Go on, do it. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. The Americans were approaching, so the Germans marched us out of the camp. They marched us to the east, away from the advancing American forces. And the Russians started advancing to the east, so they marched us back to the west. So cold. And the Americans were coming, so they marched us back into Germany, and the Russians were coming. And then one morning we woke up in the middle of a field. There were no more Germans. It all disappeared somewhere. The man wearing a uniform we'd never seen before stood in front of us. Congratulations, you've been liberated by the Russian army. You are now guests of the Soviet Union. We will feed you, give you water, and take care of you. But you will remain prisoners. You will remain prisoners until the Russian prisoners captured by the Germans are released. Consider yourselves lucky. Our prisoners, when they are returned to us, will go to Siberia for the punishment because they are traitors. You are considered heroes by America. You judge which is the stronger culture. Eventually, we were exchanged, and I was sent home. Aboard a liner, in the train, there I was, back in Columbus, and my mommy met me at the train station. And I held on to her tight. I never thought I could miss my mommy this much. He said, "Well, mommy, I'm free. And the rest of my life is going to be about freedom. Every day of my life is going to be free. I'm going to live free. I'm going to spread my freedom around. I'm going to enjoy the bliss." I spent 6 months in Europe, and I was in 10 different countries. I was hungry, frightened, and cold the whole time. But now I'm free, Mom. I'm free. It was. And I want to help other people. Other people enjoy their freedom. Other Americans. So I became a real estate agent. Helping people buy homes, start families. And I always wore my bronze star because that gave me confidence. I was one of them because everybody had served. We're all soldiers. Columbus, Ohio was booming. And I went back to the men's rooms, to the forest. I discovered some bars. I wasn't happy. Scared all the time. The outdoor dark. It wasn't Panzers anymore. Now, cruising through Columbus, Ohio was something everybody's scared. Squad cars. They're looking for me, looking for criminals. So I wasn't free. But that wasn't just it. It wasn't just about finding sex. I wanted to find somebody. Even though I was breaking the law, I wasn't even happy breaking the law. I was breaking the law the wrong way because I wanted to be with somebody. I didn't want just to have sex. I wanted to find a partner. And every time I connected with somebody, I wanted to marry them, but then they always scurried off. Or the Methodist guilt, I guess. So I decided that I was going to be upfront with people when I met them. I wasn't going to ask for sex. I was going to tell them, you know what? I'm not looking for sex. I'm looking for a relationship. And people would run away. They didn't want to hear that. They were scared of me. Until one night, I was talking to a guy at a bar named Alan. And I said, I'm looking for somebody to spend the rest of my life with. What are you, a cop? What? Yeah. That's why I'm here tonight. I have never heard that before. So I can prove to you I'm not a cop. Okay, how are you gonna do that? You wanna come over and have dinner? Cops have houses. We'll take it slow. And here's the great thing about it. We'll both know about each other, so we'll never tell anybody. How about that? I don't know. Come on. Just come over for dinner. Nobody can accuse us of anything if we just have dinner, right? Yeah, he did. And he stayed 54 years. And through a lot of that, we were in the closet, of course, because we had to be. But it was the perfect match because Alan was an interior decorator. So he would decorate the houses and then I'd sell them. And we had a lot of friends. And I think all of them knew, but who cares? As long as nobody said anything, it was fine. But the problem was that we were always lying. When you lie, lies just lead to lies. And then I just started lying about everything. I lied about little things. People would say to me, they'd say, where are you going? Are you going to lunch? I'd say, no, I'm going to go visit my mom. Why? There's no reason. It's just, it was lying all the time. And finally, it was no longer illegal. And the only reason I was lying, I was worried I'd lose clients. And Alan said, what do you care? And I said, I'd lose my livelihood. He said, don't worry about it, and I kept worrying about it, and finally he dragged me to a private room. It was the middle of the 70s, I can't remember what year, and I was so scared I stood by the bush, because I thought if I said any of my clients and my associates, maybe other realtors in Columbus, I'll just dive in the bush, and I think that would be what I was doing, because he was gonna laugh into the whole parade. But eventually, we came out as a couple. And I'll tell you something everybody said, we knew the whole time, but we were members of the community. And Alan died. He lived to be 80. Young man, 80. And I was given Realtor of the Year. Also started my own church. Methodists wouldn't have me, I didn't want them, too much guilt. So I started the Congregational Church, and I became a log cabin Republican. And one day a young man came to me and he said, I want to make a movie about you. It's called Courage Under Fire, and we sent it to every Republican senator and congressman in Washington, D.C. And I think it went a long way to convince them to overturn Don't Ask, Don't Tell. I was mighty proud of that movie. And one day, I was asked to be the Grand Marshal of the Columbus, Ohio Pride Parade. I could just hear Alan up there and heaven thinking, oh, we can't hide now. What are you gonna do, put a bush in the back seat of that convertible and dive into it when everybody sees you? I don't know if I'll recover from my fall. But my red shoes reminded me of my freedom. No, I haven't. And my advice to everybody is come out, no matter what it is, as long as it's not illegal. If you're doing something illegal, stop it. But if you're not, if it's just something secret, come out. You bite your fingernails, you pick your nose, you can tell people, they'll understand, it just makes you more legal. That's my advice to all of you. Come on out. Well, right. Thank you guys, you made a difference. Great kernel, great explosions, great flashlights, great German voices, oh my God. I feel like I'm in Germany, 1944, it's great. Thank you very much, Paul, for the great camera work. Yay! And Jonathan, you arrived and you went down with lights. I haven't had your lights. So thank you all so much for joining me. Let's hear the Saturdays. Yeah,
I'm sure, came sure.
I love it. Okay, thank you for being here. This is, I think we're all gonna grab a drink or something afterwards. If you want to. I have to pass shit up, but yeah. Okay, great. Cigar.